Officer Jack Mitchell had been on the force for over 10 years. He had seen it all, the criminals, the violence, the corruption. But nothing had prepared him for the day he found himself in the position to betray everything he believed in. Jack was a dedicated officer, respected by his peers, known for his no-nonsense approach. He was the kind of cop who believed in upholding the law, no matter the cost. But the deeper he got into the war on drugs in the city, the more he realized that things weren't as clear-cut as they seemed. Jack had been working on an undercover assignment for months, infiltrating a local drug cartel that had been wreaking havoc on the city. His superiors had given him the task, and he had taken it with pride. The money flowing through the cartel was immense, and they were linked to multiple violent crimes. Taking them down was supposed to be the key to cleaning up the streets. But the longer he spent with the criminals, the more he saw how thin the line between them and the officers, who were supposed to be protecting the city, really was. One night, after a particularly successful bust where he had managed to gather critical evidence, Jack received a call from one of the cartel's leaders. It was a surprise. He hadn't been expecting to hear from them directly. The voice on the other end was smooth, calculated. "We know who you are, Jack," the voice said. "And we know what you're trying to do. But you've been playing a dangerous game. You've got something we want." Jack's pulse quickened. He hadn't expected this. "Not yet. Not now." "I don't know what you're talking about," Jack replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "We know you're working with the feds," the voice continued. "But here's the thing. We don't care about that. We just want you to prove your loyalty to us. One simple job. No one will find out. You're already deep in this game. It'll be easy for you." Jack felt his stomach twist. He had done plenty of things to keep his cover intact, but crossing this line would be different. They wanted him to kill someone, a rival in the drug trade, a person who was too dangerous to leave alive. Jack knew that if he did this, there would be no coming back. He would be just like them, no better than the criminals he was trying to take down. But the pressure was mounting. If he refused, the cartel would expose him. His entire career, his life, would be destroyed. They would kill him, or worse, his family. The thought of losing everything haunted him. The next day, Jack found himself standing in front of a rundown warehouse, the weight of the decision crushing him. Inside, the man he was supposed to kill stood, unaware of the danger. Jack had never been in a position like this before. He had spent years working to make the world a better place, but now, he was staring into the face of corruption, with his own morals hanging by a thread. He reached into his jacket, his fingers brushing against the cold metal of the gun. It was the moment of truth. He could pull the trigger and secure his place in the cartel, forever turning his back on the badge he had worn for so long. Or he could walk away and risk everything. Jack closed his eyes, trying to steady his breathing. His mind raced, his duty to the law, his duty to the city, his duty to himself. He thought about his partner, Sarah, who had been with him since the academy. She believed in him, trusted him. How could he look her in the eye again, if he became just another criminal? How could he live with himself? In that moment, Jack made his decision. He put the gun down. "I'm done," he whispered to himself. "I'm done." He walked away from the warehouse, leaving the life he had known behind. The cartel wouldn't take kindly to his refusal, but Jack was prepared to face whatever came next. He knew there would be consequences, but he also knew he couldn't live with the guilt of betraying everything he stood for. The line between right and wrong can sometimes be difficult to see, especially when you're caught between two worlds. But no matter how deep you get, there's always a point where you have to decide who you really are. The choices we make define us, and once we cross that line, there's no going back. Staying true to yourself, even in the face of great pressure, is the only way to live with honor.